Right.
When an office is completely out of network with all plans, and a potential patient calls, and if the team members don't have training, here's what happens. The caller will say, hey, I have Delta Dental Insurance. Do you take my insurance? And without any training, very often we hear from the team member, oh, we're not in network with any plans. Clunk. The phone literally hangs up. There's no thank you or anything. It's just clunk. And then we can only assume that what happens with that potential new patients, they go to the next dental office on their Google list. They go to the next one.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Because like you said, the patients assume the minute you use the word out of network, that means you can't help me. That's
yeah,
kind of what they hear.
yeah,
And that's really why the clunk and they go to the next office. And the first one who says, you know what, we have a lot of patients just like you from Delta. We would love to see you. Do you want mornings or evenings?
yeah.
They get the patient.
They
Both
do.
are ranking on Google. One gets the patient, the other doesn't, just because of that training.
One of the reasons I wanted to talk about this today on this episode was it's very timely. Just yesterday, I had a discussion with one of my clients, and he is now no longer contracted with any plans, and we're working our way through that process very successfully, I might add. And he made the comment to me. He said, Gary, we use your letter. The letter, especially the Delta letter. We sent your letter out first before the Delta letter goes out because we know that Delta is going to send a letter to the patient. And we know that Delta writes the letter to be as confusing as possible. They want to make the patient think that they have to find another dentist. Um, and my client said, Gary, despite the crystal clarity of the language in the letter, I am amazed at how many people called my office to say, "Can I still come here?" And he was we were on a Zoom call together, and he was figuratively pulling his hair out. He's got a beautiful thick mane of hair, and he was like, Gary, we said perfectly clearly you can still come here. It shows that sometimes these thoughts are deeply embedded.
Right.
And reading it once may not change their deeply embedded thoughts. So I will tell you all, you cannot tell your patients enough. You can still come here. We are still your dentist. You know, we are still your dentist. You literally can't tell them that enough because they might have these deep seated perceptions that simply aren't accurate. Um, and that's why, I want to start with language and I want to start with, flushing out that phrase out of network, replace it with no longer contracted with. It means the same thing, but it doesn't have that scary, connotation that I can't come there. That scary connotation. Um, and anyway, it was we had a spirited conversation yesterday, myself and our client, and he said, first of all, it's going very well, Gary, but we are getting a lot of calls from people just asking, can I still come? And yet we pretty much outlined it about as clearly as we possibly could. And so I said, how are you coaching your team on those calls? And he said, well, I'm coaching them to be non-judgmental with those calls. Don't have a negative, attitude like, we told you in the letter, come on, no, you want to be non-judgmental. Yeah, thank you. So I'm so glad you called. That's a great question. We are absolutely still your dental office. So instead of having a little bit of energy around, if I get another call like that, I'm going to pull my hair out. You want to say, I am so glad you called, Linda. Thank you so much. That's a great question. And then we can explain, you can absolutely still come here. We are still your dental office. We want to be your dental office, and you can still come here and you can use whatever benefits you have right here in our office. And we're going to help you, like we always have. We're going to help you get every dollar of benefit that you have. So
Absolutely.
a simple pivot away from
Hmm.
out of network to no longer contracted with is going to help. It won't do the job by itself, but it will help us help change thinking among our patients, and it'll help them understand the accuracy that they can still come to your office for their care.